Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of RSG Reviews. Again, we're doing Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 4, I believe. We'll let
Episode 4.
Episode 4, we'll let Rock the Cashmere tell us the title and everything. But welcome to RSG Reviews. We're reviewing all the episodes of all the new Star Wars shows moving forward, and we are currently on Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 4. I'm Ranger, that's Cash, Rock the Cashmere as always, and we're glad to have you guys here. So, Cashmere, what was the name of this episode?
Faster.
It sure was. Gotta go fast.
It
Gotta
was
go so
faster.
fast.
Not Faster and Furious. Don't get that confused.
No. That's not what this is. Drift entering.
Well, we kind of were,
Sort of, maybe. I don't know.
A little bit.
So this was kind of a filler episode, but it wasn't. So it's interesting. The last two episodes have been character builders. You know, those episodes that kind of flush out certain characters. Last episode, it was definitely Crosshair and Cody that was fleshed out. This time it was mainly Tech. I would say this is more his thing. There's some dichotomy here going on between him and the droid. We'll get to that. And then a little bit of background in what's her name? The Trandoshan. That's Sid. Yeah. So yeah, could take it away, man. Where do we start off? We start off with these knuckleheads, and it starts off with Wrecker and just start off with that. They're playing
we get Wrecker and Omega. They're playing.
That's right. They were playing a game. I want to make sure we start. That's where we start, right? They're playing.
Yeah, they're playing chess. They're playing the Star Wars chess.
Yeah.
And Omega outsmarts them,
of course.
You know, which probably wasn't too tough, but kind of like it's kind of foreshadowing. You know, Sid's like, you know, worrying about her electric bill. You know, saving some energy, like so they, you know, and she tells them that she has a mission just for them because apparently Hunter and Echo are, I don't know,
they're in a supply train run for
they're driving for Uber, you know, whatever they're doing. And so she needs some muscle. She takes them to some planet. I haven't heard of the planet.
I hadn't heard it before.
I don't think it's a big deal, but essentially she is sponsoring a racer, Teo.
Yeah, his name was Teo, the droid.
Yeah, he's a droid. He's a cocky ass droid. He, you know, thinks he knows it all. He ends up winning whatever the first race is.
Yeah.
Then we have some I guess former associate,
of Zid, yeah. And what was the guy's name? Do you remember?
Malegi?
Is that his name?
Yeah. And you know, basically he talks trash to her, saying that his driver is better than hers. They have a nice simple wager on it, and it's they've done this before because they mention that, you know, the normal wager, whatever that may be. So we have the second race. Leggy's
surprise. Tail loses. Because in this race it's not pod racing, but it's similar.
It's riot racing.
Yeah. So anything goes. You can use blasters. You have shields on their racers, and anything goes. There's no rules. Yeah. The only rules is that there are no rules.
Yeah, exactly. It's pod racing with weapons.
Basically, what it is. And so Zid loses. The guy comes up and says, "Okay, you owe me," and she says, "I'll pay you when I'm good for the credits." He's like, "No, you got to pay now." And of course, she's not able to pay at that moment. And then their racer is crashed. He's destroyed the droid in the wreckage.
Yeah, he's in pieces.
Yeah, and then Omega steps in and says, you know, double or nothing. We get Zid. If we win, then the debt's paid, blah, blah, blah. Go through this whole thing where they rebuild the droid, they rebuild the ship. And this is really Tech's story more than anything, because he's having this interaction. You know, Tech is he's very analytical, but he is also tactical. He is very tactical. And you can tell by the way he likes analyzing data and probabilities, but he's also the whole thing about this. What I really liked was, the droid's giving him a hard time, and he keeps telling him certain things and stuff, and they have this relationship where the droid's like, you're human, you can't make the precise calculations that it
Hmm.
takes to race. But next thing is, yeah, that's great and all, but there's more to tactics than just numbers, analytics, calculations. It's being able to adapt with the
Hmm.
unknown. And so you have that kind of dichotomy. And then of course, the droid gets destroyed again through shenanery from the other guy. And gets hit by another racer that crashes. Like, oops, sorry. Looks like you don't
Yep.
have a racer. But then Tech decides to race. Long story short, Tech race. It was a great moment too. They're introducing the pod racers like they always do, and they get to Tech, and last but not least, we got Tech. Tech. Who the hell's Tech? Do we know
Yeah.
anything about Tech? The
Never
Tech.
heard of them.
Never heard of him. Tech. Okay, yeah, I thought that was great. The announcers were great
Yeah.
on this, right?
Yeah, the announcers were, were probably the best part of the whole thing.
That was so funny, man. I actually made me laugh out loud. Like Tech. Who the
Yeah.
hell's what? Do we know Tech? What? Is there anything on this guy? The Tech, and everyone's just
Yeah.
like, because everyone's cheering for every of the racers, and it's like it gets a Tech. It's like quiet. People are like, what? Eventually he wins, and they save Sid and stuff. But I think that the stuff is it really showed it was some character development for Tech, a little bit for Omega too.
Mhm.
Wrecker's just Wrecker, man. I mean, there's not much you can
Yeah,
do with
yeah.
Wrecker. But Zid too, because we learned some stuff about her background, that she'd had a
Yes.
past dealing with this guy. They had
Hmm.
been kind of con men together, would be the best
Yeah.
word. So we learned some more about that, and it was really an interesting scene as the show ends, that they show the three leaving after they get Zid, and the guy warns like, "Don't trust Zid.
Hmm.
Your loyalty is admirable, but she is not who you think she is."
Yeah,
And I
she's
thought it
not
was
gonna
really
say
good.
that. Yeah, and I know this was kind of more of a filler type episode, but I think it was I'm hoping that it'll pay off down the
I
line
think
where
so too.
we're gonna
Yeah,
find out about Sid being this either really bad character
yeah.
or I mean, like going back to the episode one or whatever, Wanda Sykes. I can't picture
Oh,
they
she's coming back.
yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't just use Wanda Sykes for a a minute cameo type of thing. I don't think. I don't hope. So I'm hoping we're going to find out some bad dealings, or Sid's going to get into a really bad situation. She's going to turn on the Bad Batch and prove that she's not loyal, whatever it may be. Just something down the road where we're going to really find out about Sid and what it's a she, right? Sid's a she sounds like a or but what she's all about. And um,
yeah. I mean, it was a good
yeah,
character. I mean, it's filler, but it was good filler. I mean, there's just filler where does nothing. It's just something. It's just a small little part of the story. But Filoni does tie some of this back. I really have enjoyed these last two episodes. Um, the seeing Tech race and his abilities, and showcasing him building the racer and building back the
yeah,
droid, their relationship about the droid and him. Um, you know, there are two approaches to data, right? The droid uses, he's a robot. I mean, it's his programming and stuff. Tech sees the same stuff, but he makes
mhm,
observations and says things that I'm seeing the same data you are, but I
yeah,
think you should do this. And the droid's like, you know, in a very condescending, put downish kind of way, like, you're just a human. You couldn't even possibly, you're such a
mhm,
noob. Get out of here, noob. That
yeah.
kind of thing.
You don't know
Um,
what you're doing.
yeah. And so it was really good. I thought this was a really good moment for Tech. Omega's, showing
Yeah,
who Omega is. Wrecker's still Wrecker, but I think this was really
mhm,
two people's episodes. I would say this was Zid's episode because you get a little bit more backstory with
yeah,
her. But yeah, this was all about Tech. I kind of like that they're
mhm,
doing some story progression with the characters, right? Because I think
yeah,
this is going to set up stuff like you said in the future with all these
mhm,
different people and stuff. The again, the announcers had me cracking up, man. And it was fun to see when Tech won, he gets done, and the crowd's cheering for him and he doesn't know what to do. He just goes like this.
Yeah,
He's
gives a
like,
little,
okay, yeah, thanks.
"Hey."
Yeah, yeah, I did that. Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
was something new for him. Was there anything else in the episode that kind of stood out to you? Like, overall, like, moments or anything that, played out for you? I mean, we kind of hit the main points. I mean, it's only
Yeah.
25 minutes,
Yeah,
so
this wasn't an in-depth episode. It was more of just let's try and have some fun, learn a little bit about tech,
yeah.
learn a little bit about Sid, and let's move on and hopefully have a really good show next week.
I like the racing. The racing was fun. The tactics, it was like condensed starfighter battles and trenches. It was pretty fun.
Mhm.
And then yeah. Um, so yeah, so
Yeah.
far we've had the opening thing just to set things up, some story arcs, and we've had character development with Cody and Crosshair, now Tech, a little bit with
Mhm.
Echo and Sid. So it's setting up some of these dynamics. I think that's going to get later on in the seasons for the show and stuff. It's going to be interesting to see where they're going with this, because I don't know. They're setting up these moments, and Filoni and those
Mhm.
guys are really good about tying stuff in. A lot of stuff that you saw previously that you thought maybe was just this, but these character moments I think will make a big difference in the future, right? I don't know how. It's something Filoni does, right? That's why I love Dave
Mhm.
Filoni so much, with all his animated shows. He's really good about tying things that previously were on back into later story arcs.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting. I mean, I haven't looked at a preview of what the other episodes are going to be, but um,
No, I try to avoid that. I want to be, I don't want
same,
spoilers. I mean, I'll watch the trailers and stuff like that, but I don't want to, I want to try to avoid the spoilers as much as I can. We know we have Rex coming up. We know we have the Wookiee Jedi. I can't
yeah,
remember his name. Gunji, I think.
yeah, the Wookiee,
So we know we know we have a couple of things like that coming up, but as far as any kind of spoilers, really we don't know too much.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see. So this is a short, it was a condensed episode. I
Yeah.
liked it. I'd give it a 3.5
Mhm.
out of 5 Bad Batch
Yeah.
as a rating. It was good. I mean, it didn't blow me away, but I enjoyed it. I laughed at some
Mhm.
of the announcers especially was great, man. That really
Yeah.
had me chuckling, dude. But I thought it was a really good, just a condensed little story arc. What would you give it?
Yeah. I gave it a 3. It was average. It was it was pretty good. I mean, like the big thing is I hope this was just setting up some sort of bigger payoff down the road,
Yeah.
and that's really what I'm hoping for this. But it was it was an average episode.
Yeah, I gave it a little bit higher
Mhm.
score just because of some of the. I thought the character development was good, and I like the funny moments. They had me cracking, because I usually don't laugh at Bad Batch. I mean,
Yeah.
I've hardly ever, but that had me cracking up, dude. I was like,
Hmm.
man, listen to these guys, man. That's so brutal, man. And it was funny. It was, they didn't know what to do with themselves. It was
Yeah.
great. I really
I,
thought it was
I,
brilliant.
and one of the things I laughed at is during the race, during the first, I think it was during the first race, something happened, and like there was gunfire going into the stands, and somebody died
Oh yeah, yeah,
watching.
that was had me cracking up too. Like, that's just as a
Like,
friendly
oh, this is
reminder. So and so
it's
is not
pretty.
responsible for any blast fire
Yeah, and they
missiles
go
and
through the
stuff like that.
whole.
You take
We're
your
not.
own risk and you come watch this, because you see the
We're not
flash of fire and
liable
everybody's
for
like,
any.
"Did anybody get hit?" And everybody's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, everyone's
Everybody's
safe." And you
okay,
see the one
okay.
guy with the
Everyone got
hole that
it.
comes up all of a sudden. He's like, "Ugh,"
Yeah.
falls over. I was like, "Oh my god, that's horrible," but it was so funny. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll be back for episode 5 next week,
Yep.
and we'll continue doing this. We got the trailer for the new Mando season 3, which looks phenomenal,
Yes.
and that'll be March
That looked
1st.
really good.
So we'll be. I'm thinking Bad Batch should be done there or wrapping up by then.
It's gonna be there's
There'll be
going
a
to
little
be
crossover.
yeah, Bad Batch ends the end of March and Mando starts March 1st.
Okay, so
So
we'll
we're
we'll
gonna have
we'll have a little
we're gonna
crossover. We'll
have
cover
ourselves
both. Yeah,
yeah, we're
don't
gonna
you
have
worry.
ourselves 4 weeks where it's gonna be back to back talking about Bad Batch and then talking about Mando, but
Hey, hey,
there's
gimme,
worse things to
gimme,
talk
gimme,
about.
gimme, gimme. I'm all about all this stuff. So, all right. So
Yeah.
far, Bad Batch has been pretty solid. Nothing
Mm,
extraordinary, but I
no.
see some potential here. We'll see as we get through the season how everything shapes up. So
Yeah.
that's our review. If you like this, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe. It really does help the channel. It's not that hard to do. If you like the content and stuff, leave your comments about what you thought of
All
Bad
the
Batch.
comments.
We love those kind of things.
Mhm.
Just be nice. Be nice. You know, if someone has a different opinion, that's okay. We like constructive
Yeah.
conflict here, but that, name calling and all that stuff. It just. So on behalf of myself and Cashmere, thank you guys. Salute, and we'll see you next episode. Peace out.